Alright, so just to give you a quick background of how this topic came into existence. If you guys don't know, I have several Facebook groups called as Study in Germany, Study in France. I've made a separate Facebook group for people who only want to study business in Germany or in France. So in one of the Facebook groups, I was just scrolling down and somebody asked a question there like, hey, how can I select a business school? So I went through several comments. There were comments what other people had put down there. In those several comments, there was one of the comments which said, look out for university placement and ranking. And this is what brings me to this topic. I feel that there's a lot of loose information which is floating around on this topic, and I need to address this, and this is why I'm here. Alright, let's get straight to the elephant in the room round. Two important questions which comes to our mind, and this is why I'm making this topic. First question is, does ranking really matters to get into university? Second question which comes to our mind is, do European universities give you placement into a company? See, I want to talk about this topic on different layers, of course bringing in my own personal experience also to you guys. But frequently asked question, one of those questions is, hey, I'm studying BTech, I would like to study MBA now, can I do that? Answer is no, you cannot. To do MBA in Germany, you need 2 years of minimum work experience. I know that in India, as soon as you graduate, you can directly get into MBA, but you cannot do that in Europe. That's the minimum requirement. Talking about doing MBA in India or studying in general business studies in India, there's no doubt we do have some of the top-notch business schools in India, and they do really help you to make a career out of that. So here's where the story can get very subjective. This is my personal experience, and I would like to put it in front of you guys. If some of you can relate to it, I'm sure that some of you can and will be able to relate. So when I was in my 12th grade, if I look back from 12th, like 10th, 11th and 12th, I knew that I was not good at studies. My family knew that academically I wasn't the brightest student. I somehow was like, okay, God, please help me to pass my 12th grade so that I can start my bachelor's, some bachelor. I was absolutely not clear. Today, I studied business, I'm running my own business, but does that mean that you really need to have a business degree to start a business or to run someone's company? No, it doesn't really matter. What matters is the attitude towards learning. What matters is how much hungry are you to learn new things, especially if you want to start your business, or especially when these days entrepreneurship is become so cool that everybody wants to be that. Going back to my story, so in my 12th grade, I was not really sure what do I really want to pursue my bachelor's into. My dad helped me to get on this bandwagon of you cannot get into engineering college. BCom is too common and everybody is doing that anyway. So hey, how about you go and do your hotel management? I was like, okay. I did personally also express my suggestion to my dad, like I think hotel management would be good because it's cool. I saw some photos of chefs and being able to work in a 5-star hotel and all that. So that's what led me to get into hotel management. So while I was working in hotel, a lot of things took me by surprise on my own skills, and I actually went on my own realization journey. I started looking inward of what am I good at, what am I not good at, do I really want to pursue this for the rest of my life, what I'm doing, which is serving people. The other motivation also came through a lot of people who used to come to our hotel as a guest, right? So Oberoi is a high-end 5-star luxury property. A lot of clients who come there, they are already like a top-notch guys from some of the top companies. During the course of time when I started meeting these guys and serving them, and I started to talk to them, and I was like, wow, you get to stay in a 5-star hotel for the things what you do for your company. This is something solid, Anyway, cutting down the whole story short, and that's when I realized, like, I think I would like to go ahead and do my business studies. And then I started searching, and then I learned that I need to give CAT exams to get into IIMs, and I was like, wait a second, CAT exam, this is something which I would not be able to clear that. At that point, does the whole system, which is the entrance exam, made me realize that I'm good for nothing? I would say yes, because it came to my mind that, okay, if I'm not able to clear CAT, that means I'm not getting into some good schools where good companies come and hire you. While I was thinking all this thing, I was already abroad, by the way. Even if I had to give CAT, I had to come back to India and give the CAT exam. But then again, my own critique stopped me, and of course, I kind of knew it. Do I regret when I look back of coming to Germany and studying MBA? I would say absolutely not. A lot of you guys have seen my journey for years now, that what I was and what I've become now. Yeah, this is just wanted to give you guys a bit background of where is this whole topic and my thought process comes from. So let's talk explicitly about placement services, what people have been spreading this rumor about. A lot of times it can happen, and I've heard it and I've seen it happening, that a lot of, when you go to a consultant in your local region, wherever you are, they always try to sell you a college saying that this college will get you so and so placement. especially when it comes to Germany and France, let me tell you loud and clear, there is no such thing called placement services. If somebody is promising you that you're going to get it, they're straight away lying on your face. Yes, I know I've said this before, I'm saying it again, so that it can go into your ears and straight to your brain, and then you make a wise decision. There are a few things which I would like to keep in front of you as a part of my argument. Point number one is, I presume that I have a very understanding audience who is watching me right now, who want to learn more about business or who already have an understanding of how businesses run. Now, these schools have their sales team, and these sales team have a target, and they're given a task that you have to get so-and-so student from so-and-so region. Now, what do? They need to come up with different sales tactics. One of the tactic is, of course, selling placement services, and that's what sells in India. So when you look at the local universities, local business schools in India, they always try to portray and project on their notice boards or most of their social media platforms as, we have a placement service. Nobody talks about the quality of education they give. Right? What's the point of that? So just be careful with all these promises what people are making on your way. If you need a clarification, if you need someone, a reliable source, reach out to us. I promise we'll be able to help you out. Write a proper email explaining what's your current situation, what do you want to study, so that we are able to help you better. So second obvious question which might come into our head is, okay, if they don't give you jobs, then how do people land in a job? Here's what people do. While they are studying, they do multiple internships. And the goal of this multiple internship is that you get absorbed in one of the companies where you were doing your internship. If they like your work, that's how people hire you. People will not hire you just because you studied from what Financial Times said is the first rank, second rank, and 10th rank school. They hire you on the basis of merit. They hire you on the basis of your attitude. They hire you on the basis of your knowledge. They hire you on the basis of your past work experience if you have any. They hire you onto your overall profile. They hire you on your language skills. They hire you on your personality. They hire you on your adaptability. They hire you onto your talking skills. So there's a lot of factors which decides whether you're going to get placed in X company or not. So the second part of the video which I would like to shed some light on is rankings. Do ranking really matters? If I study in an average school, if I study in a top school, if I study in not so famous school, does that change anything in the process? So before I talk about this in depth, just want to reflect on a few points first. You also know that when you go to a good college, you get a good professor there. That professor passes on his knowledge or her knowledge into you, and then you go and apply it in the real industry. Now the same logic applies. If I'm a professor and you're a student, I am also looking out for my own professional growth in life. If I have worked in an industry, let's say I was a business development manager for 14 years of my life, and now I think I can go and teach other students into one of the schools. And if I have worked with P&G, Unilever, BMW, why will I go and teach into a school which is not so famous? Is that going to add any professional value to my career? No, it's not going to add. And this is exactly the reason you also have to think that the goal when you want to study business is not just to go and get that degree there, right? The goal is to learn from the best people in the industry, and you can only find these best people into best universities. That's what makes a university best. On the contrary of what I just said, if you take not so famous school and put down like 5-6 talented teachers there, I promise you, you will see the rankings going high. You will see the quality of education being passed on from teachers to students goes higher, and that's what makes any school really great. So I'm presuming that if you wanted to study in Germany or in France, of course the first thing what we all do these days is we look up on internet. And when you were surfing on internet, you would have come across something called Financial Times. And in Financial Times, it was written on rank 1, this school rank 2, this school rank 3, this school rank 5th, this school rank 10th, this school. What goes in the background of thinking of like, why do I rely on Financial Times? Why shouldn't I rely on Business Weeks? Because Business Week is also an media outlet where they publish list of colleges. Economist also puts out university list there, which are the top ones. Whom should I trust now? These are all business media outlets. I know how advertisement industry works now, but again, how much of that is changing you personally, that's what should matter. I strongly feel that rankings should only guide you in the process, and it should not limit you somehow. Alright, do not Put yourself in that box that I only want to go to this school, I only want to go to this region because of XYZ reasons. Look out for what is best for you. See, choosing a business school, there are three main things which I personally think, which is, one is it's very personal, it's very subjective, and it can get expensive. So think wisely. How do you want to make your decisions? When I look closely at these all media outlets like Financial Times, Economist, all these people who put out list of colleges, see, you sitting on the other side of the globe, you think that this is actually a reliable source. See, I'm able to talk all these things because I've seen the whole business education industry very well now. Even though I didn't study in a top school in Germany, I can tell you for sure that I'm friends with most of the deans of top schools in Germany and France now. Internally, we do talk amongst ourselves sometimes that how these media outlets are able to capitalize on the anxiety of your college admission process. So don't let these newspapers decide your future career. Okay, it's into your hand. What is good for you? If you're interested in marketing, look out for courses in marketing, not the college first. If you want to look out for rankings in that particular school. Are they teaching good marketing or not? That should be the question. So just to wrap up this last part, what I was just talking about, these media outlets, you have to understand more or less the arbitrary factors that go into the ranking calculation often have a little to do with what will be important to your educational experience. The trajectory of your goals should not be decided which school and the rankings and these media outlets. What is important is to get out there and talk to real people. Talk to people via LinkedIn. Try reaching out to alumni people who have already studied there and ask them genuinely, listen buddy, I'm in a deep shit in my life. I'm spending 20,000 euros plus on top of that I'll have to spend on my living. Please give me genuine thought on this particular school. Will I be a transformed human being or not? Will I be transformed professionally or not? As I said before, here in Germany, even if you go and study in unknown college, literally people don't question you. But when you go to top companies like McKinsey, PwC, KPMG, these guys know where are the best talent in the city. It does matter in that sense. But does that exclude you from giving interview there? No, it doesn't. If you're talented, you'll get hired. But again, I just wanted to address this whole thing. As I said, rankings really don't matter. The goal should be to come here and learn from the real industry. Go out and have maximum exposure as much as you can. Talking about placements do not exist. If someone is putting some kind of promises, reach out to us and I will look into that. Okay? Alright guys, so on this note, I would like to say goodbye and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.